Hey, welcome back. I'm really glad you're here. Maybe you put on this episode on the way to work, or maybe you're lying in bed right now, with the lights off, just listening. Either way, I'm glad you chose this. Tonight, I want to share something with you. Not a long lecture, not a complicated theory, just one idea. One simple idea from a book that completely changed the way I think. The book is called Atomic Habits, written by a man named James Clear. And the idea inside this book is so small, so quiet, that most people read right past it. But once you really hear it, once it lands inside you, you cannot unsee it. Here is what most people believe about change. They believe that to change your life, you need to make a big move. You need to wake up one day, feel a strong emotion, make a powerful decision, and then transform. We see this in movies. The character hits rock bottom, the music swells, they go running in the rain, and suddenly, they are a new person. We love that story, but that story is a lie. Because real change doesn't look like that. Real change is quiet. Real change is boring. Real change happens so slowly that most people don't even notice it happening. Before I tell you the idea, let me tell you a story. Imagine a person. Let's call him David. David is 28 years old. He has a good heart. He works hard. He wants to be healthier, read more books, wake up earlier, learn a new language. Every January, David makes a list, a beautiful list. He writes down his goals with so much hope. And every year, by February, the list is forgotten. David doesn't understand why. He tells himself he's not disciplined enough. He tells himself maybe he just doesn't want it badly enough. But that's not the truth. David wants it. He wants it deeply. The problem is something else entirely. This is the heart. Speak slowly, clearly. And this is the idea that James Clear gives us. The idea that changed everything for me. He says, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Read that again slowly in your mind. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Let's break this down. A goal is what you want. A system is what you do every single day. David had beautiful goals, but his daily system hadn't changed at all. He still woke up at the same time, still scrolled his phone for an hour in the morning, still fell asleep with the TV on. His goals were new, but his days were exactly the same. And here is the painful truth. Your life is just a collection of your days. Now here comes the part I love most. James Clear asks a question, a simple question. What if you got just 1% better every day? 1%. That's almost nothing. If you read for 10 minutes today, instead of 0, that's already more than 1% better. If you drink 1 extra glass of water, that counts. If you go to bed 15 minutes earlier, that counts. These things feel like nothing. They feel so small. They feel almost embarrassing to call progress. But here's the mathematics. If you improve by just 1% every day for 1 year, you will end up 37 times better. 37 times. Not 2 times. Not 5 times. 37. And the opposite is also true. If you get 1% worse every day in 1 year, you are almost at 0. So if this is true, why doesn't everyone just do it? Because of one problem. One very human problem. We cannot see it happening. Think about an ice cube. It's sitting on a table. The room is cold. The temperature is 25 degrees. Nothing is happening. Then it goes to 26 degrees. Still nothing. 27 degrees. 28. 29. Still nothing. And then 32 degrees. The ice cube begins to melt. Was all that work between 25 and 31 wasted? No. It was building, quietly, invisibly. It was all necessary. Your habits are the same way. You practice your English every day, and nothing seems to change. You go to the gym every day, and you still look the same in the mirror. You write a little every day, and no one is reading your work yet. But inside, something is building. Something is accumulating. You are at 26 degrees. You are at 28. You are at 30. The melt is coming. A little philosophical. James Clear has a name for this invisible period. He calls it the plateau of latent potential. Latent means hidden. Potential means the power that's already there. So the plateau of latent potential is the period where your power is growing, but you cannot see it yet. This is the most dangerous phase, because this is exactly when people quit. They've been working hard, they're doing everything right, but the results haven't shown up yet. So they assume the system is broken. They assume they are broken, and they walk away, right before the melt. But wait, there's something even deeper in this book. Something that took me a long time to understand. James Clear says that most people try to change from the outside in. They focus on outcomes. I want to lose 10 kilos. I want to read 20 books this year. I want to save money. But the people who actually change do it from the inside out. They focus on identity, not what they want to achieve, but who they want to become. Here is the difference. Two people are offered a cigarette. The first person says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." The second person says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Did you hear that difference? The first person is still fighting. They are resisting something they still see as part of themselves. The second person has already changed who they are. They don't need willpower. They just need to act in line with their identity. And how do you build a new identity? James Clear has a beautiful answer. He says every time you do a habit, every single time, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. You want to see yourself as a reader? Read 1 page tonight. That's 1 vote. You want to see yourself as someone who takes care of their body? Do 5 minutes of stretching this morning. That's 1 vote. You want to see yourself as an English speaker? Listen to this podcast all the way to the end. That's 1 vote. You don't need a majority in one day. You just need to keep voting. Over time, the votes add up. And one day you look in the mirror and you see someone different. Not because you made a big dramatic change, but because you showed up again and again and again. Now, James Clear gives us a simple system for building any habit. He calls it the 4 laws of behavior change. I'll explain each one slowly, in simple words. Law 1. Make it obvious. Your brain acts on what it sees. If you want to read more, put your book on your pillow. If you want to drink more water, put a glass on your desk. Don't rely on memory or motivation. Just make the habit easy to see. Law 2. Make it attractive. We do things that feel good, so attach your habit to something you enjoy. Only listen to your favorite music while you exercise. Only watch your favorite show while you fold laundry. Your brain will start to look forward to the habit. Law 3. Make it easy. The hardest part of any habit is starting, so make starting almost too easy. Want to exercise? Just put on your shoes. That's it. Just the shoes. Because once the shoes are on, your body already knows what comes next. Law 4. Make it satisfying. We repeat what feels rewarding. So give yourself a small reward after you do the habit. Mark an X on a calendar. Write in a journal. Tell yourself out loud, I did it today. That small feeling of satisfaction is enough to bring you back tomorrow. So what was the simple idea that changed my thinking? It wasn't the 1% rule. It wasn't the 4 laws. It was something smaller. Something almost embarrassingly small. It was this line. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Before I read that line, I thought of habits as tasks, things I had to do, boxes to check, burdens to carry. But after that line, I started to see habits differently. Every time I sat down to study, I wasn't doing a task. I was becoming someone. Every time I chose to sleep instead of scroll, I wasn't just being healthy. I was voting for a version of myself that I actually respected. And that shift changed everything. Maybe you've been trying to change something for a long time. Maybe you've started and stopped more times than you can count. Maybe you've told yourself that you're just not the kind of person who follows through. I want to gently push back on that. You are not your past attempts. You are not your failed Januaries. You are not the goals you set and forgot. You are what you do today. Just today. Not this week, not this year, just today. What is one tiny vote you can cast for yourself today? Say this out loud or quietly in your mind. I am not trying to be perfect. I am just casting one vote today. One more time. I am not trying to be perfect. I am just casting one vote today. Atomic Habits taught me something I didn't expect. It taught me that the biggest changes in life don't come from big moments. They come from small, ordinary moments, repeated quietly over a long time. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too old, too tired, or too far gone. You are just at 26 degrees, and the melt is coming. Keep going. Not because it feels good right now, but because every small step forward is a vote. A vote for the person you are slowly becoming. Thank you for listening tonight. Really, it means something that you stayed. Good night. Sleep well. And I'll see you in the next one.